Because you can't hear yet, so I can do it. Okay.
Sign language.
Okay. Good afternoon. How are you today, ma'am?
Doing good, thank you.
Thank you for coming.
Thank
We're
you.
going to discuss and review the lesson I observed yesterday, which was Tuesday, January the 10th. And it shouldn't take more than 45 minutes. So I would like to discuss the following with you. The reinforcement objective and why continuing the reinforcement objective is important to student learning, how you're going to continue the reinforcement objective, and then the refinement objective and why improving the refinement objective is important to student learning, and how you're going to achieve the refinement objective moving forward. Okay? Then we'll look at your post-conference report scores and your self-score. Okay? We'll do that at the very end. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay, so what do you think went well in the lesson yesterday?
I feel that the yesterday's lesson was very successful with the children. They picked up a lot of new vocabulary. They learned that by adding the prefix "un" to the root word, changed the word completely. So they added new vocabulary to what they already had, build on to the prior knowledge.
And your reinforcement objective is going to be, by the end of this conference, Mrs. Tijerina will be able to explain how she is going to continue to promote student engagement. Okay? So student engagement was one of the things that I saw that you did very, very well. Okay? So when you plan for a lesson, how do you determine what activities will be best demonstrated regarding student engagement, and how are you going to integrate it into your learning goal?
I look at my tiers, 1, 2s, and 3s, and I had 3 activities for different tiers, because we all are different learners, and I wanted to make sure that I grasp all of my learners at one activity or the other.
Okay. And so these are some specific examples from what I saw, okay, that you did relatively well. You created a learning environment that intrinsically motivated all the students learning when you explained that they needed to know how to make new vocabulary words by using the prefix in the lesson. I thought that was very well done. The kids are all excited. You were enthused yourself, and it helps. And so you did that very well. Do you want to elaborate on any of that?
No, that's what motivates me the most when I see the children intrigued in the lesson. That when they are intrigued in the lesson, are involved in it, they even motivate me and give me to be more active, more not like a clown, but to teach them a lot, because I see that the involvement that they have, and they're actually learning and they're having fun at the same time.
Absolutely. The other thing I saw that you did very well is you kept encouraging all students when they were revealing their answers, as you praised all of them for all their efforts. You constantly kept doing that, and I can see the smiles on their face. Would you like to elaborate on that?
Yes, every time, even we as adults, we like to be praised every now and then. The children love it, they enjoy it, and even if with word praise, they'll accept that. But if the kids are always wanting to please, and when you praise them, they're more active, more pro for the lesson, and they'll do more and perform more for you.
Okay. And another thing I saw that you did very well is you created curiosity when you showed all the students the video of what the root words and how the prefixes come together to make new words. This excited the students. I could see in their eyes and their reaction, and they were very interested in the video. They're all very attentive and engaged. Would you like to talk about that?
Yes, I noticed a wow moment on one of my children.
Okay.
When I
give me an example.
I think it was John. No, John wasn't there. I was Timothy, or one of the boys that when I started showing the video, that's "un" plus "like," and I saw it in their actions. Wow, their eyes opened quite, because they had not seen the "un" plus "like." They had just seen the word "unlike." So when I separated them to put them together, they were excited. They said, "Oh, okay, now I can see the connection as to that this is the prefix and this is the root word." And that's what I wanted them to understand.
So it helped them with the connection.
Oh yes, definitely.
Okay. So recommended action to continue your reinforcement. Okay. Your skill in student engagement was clearly evident and facilitates student learning. I want you to continue to design your lesson plans, creating learning environments that intrinsically motivates all student learning. Okay?
Thank you. Yes, thank you.
So why do you think creating learning environments that intrinsically motivates all students impacts the student learning?
It impacts them because they are involved and they want to get more out of the lesson. Every time that I bring in a lesson that's intriguing to them, they will be more motivated and they will be willing to do it for you and learn from it. They want to have fun and learn at the same time.
Okay, I hope you excuse me, I'm writing a little slow, under the weather with my allergies. But thank you very much. So let's go into your refinement, or what I feel like you needed to work on with it more, okay?
Yes.
Okay, so by the end of the conference, Ms. Tijerina will be able to explain differentiation and how she is going to use strategies and activities in the lesson to provide a better understanding of each student's identified learning needs and alter instructional methods. So you created a learning environment that met the needs of that will meet the needs of individual students without altering the standards. So that's what the goal is, right?
Mm-hmm.
How do you think you could add to your activities or change your activities to promote more differentiation?
My class yesterday was all tier 2s and 3s, and my 2s
Okay.
are high 2s, close to 3s. So therefore, there wasn't very much of a differentiation because I didn't have my tier 1 or my tier 3.
Got you.
Okay, and
So they were all tier 1s and tier 2s?
no, I didn't have any tier. Oh yes, tier 1s and tier 2s.
Okay. They were
And my tier 2s are up close to the tier 1s.
okay.
But I still differentiated with the 3 activities. I wanted to
Okay.
make sure that they understood in the different modalities.
Okay.
Okay, I wanted to grasp everybody in
Okay.
different tactiles of learning.
So as I was in there observing, how could you have made me aware that that's what you were doing with it? So I know what you were doing, right? You had the 3 activities,
Mhm.
but I wasn't aware that one activity was for a certain tier, another activity was for a certain tier. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yes.
So you made it look like it was just one lesson with all 3, which was very, very good, right? That was very good. But if you're going to focus on one particular group, right? How could you have done that a little bit better?
My tier 1s could be my listeners,
Okay.
and that's the directory,
Okay.
just to put the visual and listen to the words. Okay. Tier 1.
Okay.
Tier 2 could have been my second activity, which was the cube with the prefix un, connecting the un with the cube, which was similar to what I showed them on the video.
Right.
Okay. And the third activity was for both because I didn't have my tier 3s.
Got you. Okay. That's what we're gonna do.
Now, if John would have been there, it would have been a little bit different.
A little bit different,
Yes,
okay.
a 1-to-1 with him.
Okay, you would have done one-to-one with
Yes.
him and let the other groups be
Yes,
themselves. Okay.
yes.
Thank you for that. Specific examples that I saw that I feel like we could refine is that we just talked about it. There was no evidence that you prepared the activity for those in the different tiers, but you're telling me that those 3 activities were for tiers 1, tier 2s, to tier 3s, right? Okay.
Yes.
The individual activity didn't seem to have been modified for those not in tier 1, right? So I didn't know which ones were tier 1s, what activity was for tier 2. So when you put them on the board, right, I'm just looking at, okay, this is for everybody in the group because it was a group lesson, correct?
Yes, right.
So how can we make that to where everybody knows, hey, I'm a tier 2 student. Your students do know what tiers are in?
Yes, they
Okay, and so how would they know, oh, this one's targeted for me?
do. They know what tier. That's my leaders. That's why I asked who's my leaders. Those
Yeah,
are
I
my
saw
tier
that.
1s,
You
and
did a
I
good job
asked
doing
my
that?
tier 2s.
Absolutely.
Now, because of the fact that my tier 2s are up and close to my tier 1s, the activities I did not classify as tier 1, tier 2.
Ah,
Now,
got you.
in other cases, I would have said, okay, I'm gonna do the lesson as a whole. Let's do the video as a whole.
Okay.
Now, let me work with tier 3 by myself individually, do one activity with them. Tier 2s, this is your activity, the Q and the U.
Okay.
Put the words together. Let's make the little booklet the way that I showed them how to do the little booklet for the U.
Right.
Now, tier 1, yours is the tree. I want you to look at the tree, connect,
And you connect.
and you connect
Absolutely.
without everything together. There,
Yeah.
that's the differentiation right there.
Okay. So,
In groups by themselves, as I work with my
so in hindsight, you can see how you can make that a little bit
Yes,
different, make it
yes.
better for the students,
Yes,
right? And for you as well, right?
Exactly.
Because we want to make sure that we're using our time wisely in the classroom,
Yes.
and those that are self-sufficient can continue with the lesson while you help those that are
need, yes.
in need.
Mhm.
Absolutely, very good, good. So, all right, let me see. So, examples of what to refine with concrete suggestions. So, the teacher used visual representations. I thought that was great. I mean, I saw, that you had when you were talking about clean and unclean, the pictures you put up there in the Elmo.
Mhm.
All right, but so how could you have done that a little bit better for your different groups?
What I was thinking, like for my next days, because I'm
Okay.
still continuing with the prefixes,
Right, absolutely.
is bringing in magazines, newspapers, or whatever, and then cutting out pictures so that they can see the clean, the unclean, the fallen, the lucky or not unlucky, or things like that, so that they can see and say, oh, this picture goes with this lesson.
Right,
Oh, I can do
right.
this with this lesson.
Absolutely. Okay. And so you're having predetermined. You had your groups predetermined, so the
Yes.
kids already knew that they were going to go.
Yes.
Okay, but do you think if you allowed them, or you can afford them student choice by allowing them to do the different lessons? So I did hear you in the lesson say, so we're going to give you choices, but you're the one who did the choice, right? You're the one who did the actual lesson without giving them the choices, right? So absolutely give them some choices that they can do in their group.
Mhm.
So if I think one of the things that you could have done that would have been absolutely superb. The lesson was great, by the way, but to make it even that much more elaborating for the students is put those 3 different activities on there and let each group pick one and see which one they're going to pick.
Right.
So that's actually choice, right? So what you did is you gave them 3 different lessons for 3 different tiers, which was also good. So they all got it.
Right.
But then if you were to come up with an activity which absolutely gave them maybe 3 little games, I think the activities you did were great. But if you were to do that in a smaller capacity and have the students, okay, let's see what this group is gonna pick which one. They're gonna do this, okay. Pick up the other ones and let them roll with that one.
Yes.
Give them a time limit,
Mhm.
right? So the time limit is very important
Very
too.
important.
Right,
Yes.
absolutely. So
Now, this is where this would fall into the centers, where I'm working with a group,
okay,
and I put the 3 activities.
okay,
They have a choice.
yeah, absolutely.
Okay. They go to their centers.
Okay.
Okay, you choose which activity you want to do, 1, 2, or 3. Now, if tier 1 goes with an easy activity, I'll say, oh, that's wonderful, that's exciting, that's good because you've learned some, but let's try a different activity.
Right.
Why? I want them to choose the rigorous one
Yes.
because of where they're at. See, because a lot of
Their
the times,
ability.
yes, they'll go with an easier task, but I want them to choose wisely. But yeah, it'll be wonderful. Thank
Absolutely.
you.
And so, could you tell me about a future lesson that you're thinking that you may teach that may use differentiation? How would you do it differently?
Differentiation would be like in the math,
Okay.
when we're doing sounds of the letters, when we're doing the different activities in spelling that I have to differentiate. For example, I do a verbal testing for
Okay.
some, for one because he's the only one, and the others I do the testing. They have to do the sentences, all sentences. Now they do not only one sentence, but they do the 4 types of sentences, which they have to differentiate, which is the question, the exclamation, the command, and the exclamation, command, question, and the sentence.
Okay.
And the other, and John, he tells me the sentence.